The first 30 days of your spinal cord injury are likely going to be the most important 30 days in your life because they're going to set the stage for what the next 6 months, year, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years are going to be like, and how you're going to face life now living with a spinal cord injury. Those first 30 days are going to be huge because you're going to go through so many challenges that you've never even imagined before your injury. Some of them are physical, some of them are emotional, but they're all going to test you and they're all going to put you in a situation where you actually have to fight or just shrivel up and die. The first thing that I think is going to happen in your first 30 days that's huge is that you're going to be going through shock. Your body will be going through shock because of the spinal cord injury. Your spinal cord injury is in shock. It's probably swelling. There's probably stuff going on with your body that you don't even understand. There's probably pain. There's probably a lot of healing that you have to do after the injury. And that is going to be a huge challenge. But I think the bigger challenge comes from the mental aspects of going through shock. A lot of you have probably, if you sustain a spinal cord injury, probably went through a very traumatic event. Maybe it was a vehicle accident, a rollover accident. Maybe it was a gunshot. Maybe there was violence involved. Maybe it was a sporting event where you were just, doing your thing, playing sports, and you got injured. However it is that you got injured, mentally, it's going to be a huge shock. You're going to be questioning whether you should have even gotten out of bed that day that you got injured. You're going to question why you. You're going to question what's going to happen with you. What are your goals going to be like? What life is going to be like after the spinal cord injury? Shock is not only going to be physical, there's going to be mental, and you're going to be tested the first 30 days. The second thing is that I think is going to happen in the first 30 days that I think is super important is that reality is going to start setting in. Now, reality starts setting in for some people the first couple of days. Some people, it takes longer. It might be 30 days, it might be 60 days, but I think the first 30 days is the time, if you are aware, if you are not under sedatives, or if you are just, aware of what's going on, you're going to start understanding that you have a new reality. Your body's not working as it was before. Your mind is not working as it was before. And life in itself is likely not like it was before. So you're going to start thinking about things now in the present. And then it might be even difficult to move forward because of that, because you've lost a lot. You've lost a lot of your independence. You've lost a lot of your physical abilities. And you've lost really your identity. So reality is going to hit you like a ton of bricks. So you really have to be ready for that. And finally, another thing that I think you're going to go through in the first 30 days is the beginning of acceptance, right? You're going to start accepting where you are. For me, it came about 2 or 3 weeks after my injury with a conversation with my dad. We were, in the hospital. He was standing next to the bed. Obviously, I was not very mobile. And I was recovering. And I asked my dad, why me? At that point, I was going through a very difficult time and I was questioning life. I was questioning, why I, was going through that. If I wasn't like a bad person, if I wasn't, a criminal, why me, why me, why me, why me? And my dad told me, why not? And that got me thinking. That was the first step for me to start accepting my new reality. I knew that I had to accept and that I had to be accountable for where I was and what was going on so that I could move forward. And it didn't happen immediately. It didn't happen overnight. But little by little, I started accepting my new reality. I started working harder. I started doing things to try to improve myself and try to improve my chances of getting out of the hospital primarily. So acceptance started to fall in place during the first 30 days. Now, everybody's injury is different. Everybody's situation is different. There's all sorts of factors that are going to determine the level of recovery or the rate of recovery that you have after your spinal cord injury. The one thing that I do want you to remember is that you will recover. If you have a positive mind, if you ask for help and rely on others so that you can find your way through this new life that's very difficult, that's very challenging, that's different physically and mentally and spiritually, you will find your way. I promise. I am Beto. This is From My Chair. And if you have a spinal cord injury or know somebody that has a spinal cord injury and love somebody that has a spinal cord injury, this channel is for you. I'm sharing my stories of 31 years of living with a spinal cord injury and hope that you can find a better road ahead of you with your spinal cord injury. I'll see you in the next one.